So in case you didn't know, I celebrated my 34th birthday a few weeks ago, and I really wanted to do a video where I shared 34 lessons learned in business, but then it felt like maybe 34 was too much, and to be honest with you, I could only think of 20 at the time of writing this script. So I'm gonna do 20 for now, and maybe I'll do another one with other lessons. This was a really fun exercise to do because it required me to sit down, close my eyes, and do this mental scan of my entire entrepreneurial journey and find where were the biggest lessons in those years. So if you haven't done this yet, I really encourage you to do it. You're gonna discover so many things about your journey that you hadn't even thought of. With this being said, let's get started with lesson number 1. And I talked about this in my previous video, but success is 90% mindset and 10% strategy. For an entire year, I really struggled in my business, and I was trying all the strategies out there from the top online entrepreneurs. Think Amy Porterfield, Alex Hormozi, Jeff Walker, and yet I wasn't meeting my goals. I was far from it, and it was so damn frustrating. Like, I wanted to quit. I really wanted to quit. But diving deeper, I realized that I had these huge mental blocks and negative beliefs about myself that were hindering my success. So it took a lot of therapy, coaching, journaling, meditation to really get over these beliefs and start seeing the success that was always there for me. So understanding that attitude greatly influences outcome will set all your foundations for your entrepreneurial efforts. Lesson number 2, whether you believe you can or you can't, you are right, my friend. Your beliefs serve as the foundation upon which your potential for success is built. Beliefs shape your perceptions, influence your decisions, and ultimately determine the actions you take. Going back to that year that I just talked about where I was really struggling, in the bottom of my heart, I felt like I couldn't do it. Like I wasn't cut out for this. And that belief greatly influenced the outcome of my actions, the content that I was creating, the offers that I was putting out. It was not in alignment. And I really want to dive deeper into this topic in another video, but for now, just remember how powerful your mind is, and whatever you believe, you can achieve. Lesson number 3 is that self-awareness is a must for any online entrepreneur. Knowing yourself so well, knowing how you react to certain situations, knowing what triggers you is so important to be able to control yourself as an entrepreneur. It's so important to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship and business. And there are so many tools out there that can help you raise your self-awareness. There's journaling, there's meditation, there's therapy, there's books that you can read, podcasts that you can listen to, sitting down in silence. I've done them all, and I really think you should do them all, but I don't want to overwhelm you. So pick one, get started, but get to know yourself better than anyone else. And this is something that no one talks about and no one teaches you. And when you become an entrepreneur, you just go straight into the grind and you forget everything that is within, okay? So you need to learn about that, and you'll see that external environment will start to change as well. Next lesson. Instant gratification is the biggest killer of your long-term vision. The thing with social media is that it has conflicted us, it has made us used to this instant gratification of likes, comments, shares, maybe even instant sales. And this can really affect our ability to set and work towards long-term goals. Because when we focus only on instant gratification, we will prioritize short-term pleasures over long-term gains. And remember, building a business is a long-term thing. Doesn't matter what the girlies say out there about making millions in a couple of months and working 2 hours. That's not the reality for 99% of the people. Don't believe that. We're here for the long run. The next lesson is that it's okay not to be an expert. You can still share your journey towards becoming one. And this is something that I've seen with a lot of my students, that before joining my programs, they come to me and they have this fear that they don't see themselves as experts, and how are people gonna trust them? How are they gonna grow a brand if they're not experts? But the truth is that nobody is an expert when they start. And what a lot of people do is they start sharing their journey and the lessons learned, which will in result help grow an audience, and an audience that grows with you. So you share your journey towards becoming an expert and they see this growth and this transformation, which is also very inspiring for them. So make sure to embrace your learning curve and use it to connect with others. The next lesson is about vulnerability and how this is so important and the easiest way to be authentic and connect with your people. And I know that a lot of people feel that being vulnerable when they start out is a sign of weakness, because we all want to be perceived as an authority, as leaders. But doing so, we forget that we're also humans, and vulnerability is such an important aspect of the human experience. And when you are vulnerable, you are being the most authentic, raw, and real version of yourself. And remember that authenticity builds trust and fosters stronger connections. Okay, you're gonna love the next one. Comparison is not bad. What is bad is the intention behind it. I used to compare myself all the time with people that were growing faster on Instagram, that were having more successful launches, making more sales, and it was absolutely killing me. And once I shifted my intention towards one of lack and jealousy towards one of admiration and seeing them as a source of inspiration, I started thinking, if they can, so can I. And I promise my suffering ended. And it's not as simple as just saying it. Again, it required work, lots of therapy, lots of journaling, lots of self-discovery, but I did it. So use comparison as a tool for motivation and learning, not as a source of discouragement. Which takes me to the next lesson. There's always going to be someone better than you. There was a time when I wanted to be the best at everything, and this comes from like my childhood. That's a whole different story. But when I started my business and I had so much success in the first year and I was growing and I was making sales, I was like, I am the best, I want to be the best. But honestly, trying to be the best ended up being exhausting and demoralizing, because the truth is that there's always someone who's better than you, and that is okay. Accepting this can free you from unnecessary pressure and inspire continuous improvement. Lesson number 10, when feeling stuck, look for answers within and not outside. It's completely normal that when we're facing challenges and roadblocks, we tend to ask everyone out there. We ask our families, friends, we ask our coaches, our mentors, our colleagues. And while that is fine, everyone will always have a different opinion, and it's just gonna end up confusing you way more. I've learned that the best way of finding answers is sitting in silence, reflecting, and asking God, the universe, the source, or any personal belief system that you have for guidance that will always lead you to the best solutions. Okay, the next one is one of my favorite lessons, and it's about failure and how I feel that failure is more important than success. I've had so many failures throughout my journey. I've actually had more failures than successes, but all of these failures have created the person that I have become. All of these failures have brought me to where I am right now, to going through that pivot that I'm going through, to being able to share these lessons with you. And these failures also made me get out of my comfort zone, think more creatively, come up with new ideas, and out of my failures, I ended up creating some of my best products. So see failure as part of your journey. It's going to happen, it's inevitable, and turn it into invaluable learning opportunities that ultimately pave your way to success. And the next one is a little bit related to what I just talked about, and it is that entrepreneurship is a roller coaster, and it is in your low moments when you will grow the most. As I said it recently, when I started my business, I experienced a lot of success during the first year. Fast growth, recognition, money. My self-confidence was off the roof, and I felt on top of the world. The problem is that everything that goes up has to come down. And I wasn't ready for that. I had attached my self-worth to these milestones, but when I was down low, I struggled. But that's when I started looking for help. That's when I started journaling. That's when I started growing so much as a person. And those lows will shape not only your journey, but the person, the entrepreneur you're meant to become. Lesson number 13. If it's not working out, it's probably because it's not aligned with your soul's higher purpose. And I know I might be getting a little bit woo-woo here, but that's part of who I am. That's what I believe, and I want to be sharing more of these woo-wooey things in my content. But lately, I had been feeling stagnant with my brand. As you know, I'm going through a pivot right now, and I felt that my content was reflecting that. I felt that it wasn't creating the impact that it used to create anymore. It wasn't resonating with people anymore. And it just didn't feel right. And this was a clear sign that I needed to shift directions to align more closely with my higher purpose and vision. And when I made that decision, I felt this burning desire in my stomach telling me that that was the right decision. That is in alignment with my soul's higher purpose. So being in tune with your core values and goals is essential both for fulfillment and success. The next one, having a powerful vision is way more important than making sales. And I love this phrase because, again, we are bombarded every day on Instagram, on email, on TikTok, like how to make more sales, grow your revenue. And yes, we all want that. But what about our higher vision? We focus only on the sales. It's not gonna fulfill us. As I said in my previous video, making sales is the easy part. Having a powerful vision provides a clear direction and purpose for your business. It's not just about making money. It's about creating something meaningful and lasting. The next lesson is a little bit controversial because there's been a lot going on around this specific topic, and it's about niching down. I believe that you should choose a niche but build a personal brand. So when you're starting out, you do need to be a little bit specific with the niche that you're going for so that you can grow a very specific targeted audience and also stand out from competitors. But that doesn't mean that you should not build a personal brand as well. And this was a mistake I did. It's what led me to all of this transition and pivot that I'm going through right now. Because the truth is that people will follow you for the niche, but they will stick around for you. So you need to spend time building that personal brand to connect with them at a personal level. And this is gonna be really beneficial, especially if you decide to pivot like me at some point in your journey. Which takes me to my next lesson. It's okay to pivot. In fact, you're gonna pivot multiple times in your business. And I've pivoted so many times throughout my journey. I'm currently going through another huge pivot, maybe the biggest pivot I've ever gone through. But it feels so right because evolving is part of being human, and flexibility to change directions is essential as you grow and learn. Lesson 17, if you do it for the money is what will keep you stuck. And I had to admit it that for some time I was really focused on the money. That year when I was completely stuck, when I couldn't, succeed with any of the different strategies that I was trying, when I felt like I was losing in battle, I did have a very huge focus on money. I wanted to make more money. And I've always wanted to help people, like it's part of my DNA to serve, but I think that I was more attached to the idea of making more money because that's what everyone was talking about, right? That attachment made me lose focus and lose my higher vision and purpose. And it's what made me feel stuck and uninspired. So remember that pursuing passion and purpose over profit leads to a more sustainable success. Next lesson, you can probably do it alone, but getting help will get you there faster and with fewer mistakes. I also have to admit that when I started, I was the type of person thinking, oh, I can do everything on my own. I don't need help. I don't need to invest. The truth is you can find everything online. You can do it on your own. But that was a huge mistake that cost me a lot of late nights, a lot of frustrations, a lot of wasted energy that I could have used towards something else, towards creating something bigger. I also was really scared to invest, which came from having a poor relationship with money. Nevertheless, the moment I invested into a coach and looked for support and got the support that I needed, my business took a quantum leap. So leveraging others' experience and expertise can truly accelerate your success. The next lesson, and I love this one, is that if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. It's been proven that everything starts as a thought before manifesting into this reality. So if you can hold a thought in your mind and add some emotion to it, visualize it, there is no way that you cannot achieve it. And this applies to everything in life, but also in business. If you see yourself succeeding, if you can feel that emotion that success would bring, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And the last lesson is about relationships and how I truly, firmly believe that relationships are the pillars of a successful business. If you want a successful, thriving, long-term business, prioritize relationship building. No matter what platform you're on, whether you're on YouTube, Instagram, podcast, blog, build relationships with your audience. Answer their questions, get back to their messages, to their DMs, and be human. The law of reciprocity never fails, and when you give, you will always receive. So make sure to cultivate strong relationships that support and enhance your business. And we did it. We went through the biggest 20 lessons that I've learned in my entrepreneurial journey. Some of them a little bit deeper than others, some of them more woo-woo than others. But I really wanted to share these with you in hope that some of them resonate with you, that might help you in your journey. It's not easy, but we're here to support each other. And as I said, all of my failures, mistakes, dramas, roadblocks, whatever, they've all become very valuable lessons that I am honored to be able to share with you today. So with this being said, let me know in the comments which of these lessons resonated the most with you. And I'll see you next week. Bye.